The 2022 NBA trade deadline is less than a week away, and one of the more intriguing teams to keep an eye on is the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors have surprised a lot of people this season by being arguably the best team in the NBA when healthy, so many are wondering whether they'll make some moves at the deadline to go all in for a potential championship push. So in today's video, I'll be discussing some players potentially on the trade block for the Warriors currently, how realistic it is that they get moved, and finally, some trade package ideas that they may consider for these players at the deadline. Before we start, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. It really does go a long way to help the channel grow, so all support would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, with that being said, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors. Firstly, let's take a look at the players on the trade block for the Warriors. I'm not gonna lie, there's probably only one major asset on the trade block for the Warriors right now, and that is James Wiseman. Wiseman hasn't played a game since the start of 2021, only featuring in 39 games total as a rookie, until a serious injury has kept him sidelined until the present day. Wiseman was solid in his rookie season as he fit really well alongside Curry and Draymond and played the Warriors' big man role really well. His shot was improving as the season went along, his defense in particular was taking major leaps as well, which was really exciting to see, but due to his injury, we were very limited in what we got to see out of Wiseman at the NBA level. With him still recovering from injury, and it being unclear when he'll return to the lineup, the question is for Golden State. Do they move on from Wiseman in hopes of an upgrade that will better enable them to win now, or do they hold on to Wiseman and his potential and bank on their future? Well, there's pros and cons to both. The cons of trading Wiseman mainly are about how we don't know what kind of impact he's going to make for the Warriors once he comes back. He could be an amazing player they miss out on by trading him away, and they'd never be able to utilize him at his best next to Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, etc. Wiseman has been mentored by Draymond Green and has evidently become a lot better from it, so maybe they wouldn't want to move him because of that. Plus, it's not like Wiseman doesn't fit the timeline of the Warriors team either. There are a lot of other young guns on this team that the Warriors will look to go into the future with after the Curry, Green, Thompson era, such as Kuminga, Jordan Poole, and Moses Moody. Is that something worth losing for maybe a slightly better piece to add to the current championship hopeful core? That's something the Warriors will have to decide. On the other hand though, there are a lot of positives to a Wiseman trade. If the Warriors can get an upgrade back, in particular a better front court piece that would be able to take it up to the likes of Anthony Davis, DeAndre Ayton, and Nikola Jokic in the playoffs, they'd be in a far better position to win the championship. Landing a guy like Miles Turner or Christian Wood would bring a boost to the team on both sides of the floor, as both are equally established stretch bigs who can also defend at a high level inside the paint. This also works for Wiseman, as the return package wherever he lands, Indiana or Houston, are in a rebuilding state right now, so he'd be a good piece to their respective young cores. However, to get either of those guys, Wood or Turner, Golden State would probably have to give up another young guy, like Moses Moody, to make the contracts work, so that could make them hesitant to pull the trigger on a deal. However, for the sake of the video, if a trade did go through, how would these players positively impact the Warriors? Well, as great as Kevon Looney is and has been for some time for the Warriors, it's obvious he'd be quite outmatched against some of the other big men in the Western Conference, and it's an area that could potentially cost the Warriors in their playoff run. So, by making a trade here at the deadline for a guy like Wood or Turner, using Wiseman as bait, as he's probably the most valuable player the Warriors would be willing to deal right now, the Warriors can try get that more impactful player that could help turn them from a Western Conference Finals exit to an NBA champion once again. There's obviously the risk that the trade doesn't work out and the player they get back doesn't fit into the system as planned, but there's also the risk that leaving the team as is isn't enough. with the defense and shooting that either of those two can provide, maybe the Warriors believe that making a move is worthwhile. Regardless, Golden State will need to consider that over the next few days or so, as this is going to be a significant point in the season for the franchise we may look back on, considering the Warriors' championship ambitions. So those are the pros and cons of trading Wiseman in my opinion. Obviously there's some good things if you do trade him, and other benefits if you don't. But with that all being said, what should the Warriors actually do during this trade week? Look, I think the idea of making a trade is tempting for the Warriors because there are a couple of guys on the market that suit their needs, like I went through before. However, considering how much success this team has already had this season, especially when they were at full strength with Draymond in the lineup, I just don't think they'll be overly determined to make a trade. Maybe if the asking price is right, they'll consider it. You never know with Bob Myers at the helm. But at the end of the day, I don't think they'll end up making a significant move, like trading James Wiseman. Do I think they should trade him? In some circumstances, yes. But there's certainly no rush to get a trade done just for the sake of it. Plus, Wiseman still has the potential to be a major positive for the Warriors when he returns. So in my eyes, unless what they get back is extraordinary, it just wouldn't make sense to give up on Wiseman so soon. He's young, fits the timeline of the young core, and has shown flashes in his rookie season of being a great piece to fit next to Curry, Draymond, and the rest. All in all, there's no real rush to make major changes to this roster. If a deal pops up that they like, it pops up. But again, there's definitely no need to be moving Wiseman just for the sake of it, even though they could get a talented guy back like Wood at the deadline. And that is hopefully what you've gathered from today's video. But that will conclude the video. What do you guys think of this? What should the Warriors do at the trade deadline in your opinion? Should they move on from James Wiseman and try get something out of him, or keep the roster as is? Who are some players they should target? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.